would like to share this with you today because it may be of benefit for somebody. It definitely helped me, and this is something that I share with some of my clients that are wanting to kind of reset and go into that reparenting mode where you can truly heal some of that past trauma. So for me, it was actually physically going to that place where I felt my inner child had been left or neglected or wounded, and approaching that place with the intention to reconnect and almost like draw a bridge to the past so that I could pick my inner child up, regain myself, and those fragments of my soul that I had lost. So I do think it's good for us to kind of pinpoint in our mind if there was a time or an era, a place, a significant environment that we should visit to really kind of make peace with, so that we can reconnect with that past part of ourself. It's really difficult, and for me it was going to my childhood park, and just, you guys may have saw the video, slaying a demon that tried to kill me. Yeah, that was me seriously really doing that inner child healing work. Ever since then, I've just had this flowering of healing and emotional releases and just connection to myself, where I am no longer fragmented in that way. I'm no longer like split. So I noticed when I had that disconnect or that split within my consciousness with my inner child, I unfortunately would self-sabotage a lot. I would allow people in my life who weren't supposed to be in it. People would unfortunately take advantage of that naivety or that split, that disconnect. And this is what I wanted to share with you, that we really, once we do this work, we really gain an advantage, because this kind of stuff will no longer happen to us. Like, for instance, I recently had a man who I met. He's a climber, and we're just getting to know each other, trying to see if we are going to be able to climb. And just throughout a few interactions, I could tell that there was just a lot of red flags. And I myself, going through this therapy and trauma release, I'm really mindful of the connections that I have. I'm not in the place of needing a relationship, so when they do come into my life, I'm very much going to have that mindful eye, and if I do see red flags, I'm definitely not going to ignore them like I would have in the past. That self-sabotage just isn't really happening, and I'm so happy, but people are still going to test us. This man in particular, he just kind of randomly crashed my camping site, which there was other people around, so it wasn't like a safety concern in that way, but he did block my truck in from the exit. And mind you, I'm just kind of like trying to be mellow and just trying to be cool with this guy, right? Like, I might potentially want to climb with him, but he's getting his stuff all ready, and he's like going to go on a short walk, and he offers for me to come with him. But he just randomly showed up, and I'm in my pajamas, right? And I'm just kind of like, okay, like, I'm put the animal's already asleep, kind of a thing. But anyway, I politely told him that maybe in the morning, and that if he could give me some room, so that if there were an emergency, I would not be blocked in, if he could move his truck. And his whole demeanor changed. Like, he went from friendly to almost like attack mode, where he started like throwing his stuff around and started slamming his doors and moving the truck was like a deal breaker. And I'm thinking in my head, well, that's like safety, number one. If anything were to happen, you definitely want to give everybody a room so that they can leave. And especially if you're going to go on this hike, who knows? And I just thought that it was very impolite. But the universe was like, this is some of the stuff that you would have tried to overlook. I think even if you're watching this, you're probably an empath, and we do this a lot. We feel other people's pain and we're like, oh no, that's ours. We got to deal with it. I have a different boundary with myself. I have that inner child healing work going on where I'm just like cool with the little girl inside of me, and she's just like, that was weird. Why was he here? Like, why is he not respecting the fact that we need, just normal boundaries? And my inner child knew that didn't feel good, and that's not the kind of friend that I want. But you see what I mean? Like, those are the types of boundaries that we are building up now. I just quietly and calmly went to my phone and deleted him, and there is no more interaction and no contact. And in the past, I kind of would have tried to been like, oh, well, what's the deal? What can I do? And I'm sorry, and maybe it's not right, and all that kind of stuff would have been brought up. But now that I'm holding hands with the little girl inside of me, no. We really have grown a lot. I think a lot of us who have done this work, we've evolved so much, and we're still incredibly empathic. We still deal with other people's energies and their pain, but a lot of us are just now seeing how clear our boundaries have become. Like, we don't take all that on anymore. We deserve our peace. I deserved my sacred space that night. People are not always going to give us what we deserve, but at least we can step up for ourselves. We can be the one to have that healthy boundary and take care of ourselves and our inner child.